I'm about to show you two desserts that are family favorites. These are perfect any time of year, but are especially wonderful at Valentine's Day because one is red and one is pink. If you are looking to show your family some extra love this Valentine's Day, these desserts will not disappoint. To get started on the strawberry pretzel dessert, you're going to melt some butter in the microwave. So I've got just a little over a stick of butter. One recipe called for a stick, one called for 3/4 a cup. So I just put a stick and a little bit extra that I had. Basically, you want to get this softened so you can mix it with some granulated sugar and your crushed pretzels, because that is going to make the base of this delicious dessert. Now that my 3 tablespoons of sugar has been stirred into the butter, I am adding in 2 cups of pretzels crushed. Now it just depends on your preference here, whether you like them super fine or you want them a little bit crunchier, as far as, you know, the pieces a little bit bigger so they're just maybe a little crunchier and not quite as broken down. That's completely up to you. I feel like I always leave mine a little bigger than I want them to be after I get the whole thing made. I'm like, oh, I should have crushed them a little more. So that's just personal preference, but they do need to be crushed, mixed in with this butter and sugar, and then this is going to be pressed down into the bottom of your 9x13 pan, and you bake that in the oven for just about 10 minutes or so at 350. While our crust has been baking and now cooling, we will work on the middle layer, and that starts off with an 8-ounce block of cream cheese softened, 1 8-ounce tub of Cool Whip, and you also want that to be thawed out in case you have that in your freezer. You're going to mix those two together, and you're going to add in just a little bit more sugar, 3/4 a cup granulated sugar. All of this gets incorporated really well to make that really yummy, creamy center on this dessert.
Whenever you're lonely, just pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show you. You're my one and only, like I told you. I'll be there. And if you get blue, I got the loving for you. Yeah, I'll be there.
Now we're going to start working on the top layer. You need 6 ounces of Jello, 2 cups of hot water to make that Jello. I have 2 of the 3-ounce boxes, the smaller boxes. I always like to put my boiling water in first and then add my Jello to the water and stir it around. I just feel like there's less chance of like one big old clump in the bottom. I also like to use a clear bowl. That way I can hold it up and look at the bottom and see that everything is pretty well mixed in. So you just have to be patient with Jello. Stir it until all the granules are dissolved in the hot water. Now, the interesting thing with this one is you want it to partially set. You don't want it to fully set because you want to pour this on top of your cake. So you just want to get this mixed in really well, let it dissolve, and put it in the refrigerator and let it start to cool. Then you're going to add your strawberries to it and pour it on the cake while it's partially set. I know it sounds a little bit complicated. It's not. You just have to watch it. Now, that being said, you want to make this in enough time so the Jello will set up. I did not make mine as earlier in the day as I should have, so I added just a little bit of cool water to that to kind of help the process. So you can see here it's partially gelled. It's kind of thick. You can see there as it's coming off the spoon, and you can also notice as I'm pouring it in, it's already partially gelled, and that's kind of what you want. And then you get this back in the fridge and it will set up completely. Into the Jello, I used a whole pound container of fresh strawberries, just washed and sliced those up, and mix those in to the Jello after it kind of partially set up. You give it a stir and pour it on top.
I'll be there. Girl, let me show you. You're
dessert is so refreshing. It's always a hit. It's such a good combo, especially with that pretzel crust on the bottom and the cream cheese in the center. It is delicious every single time. Why don't you whip one of these up for your family for Valentine's Day? I know they will love you for it. This is one of my mom's signature dishes, so if there were ever a family favorite dessert, this definitely ranks at the top. Either my mom or my cousin would bring this to every family function for as long as I can remember. And of course, my kids and now my daughters-in-law, they know this as my mom's dessert that she usually has at every single holiday, and it's simply called pink stuff. It is so good, so easy. This is one, if you have not tried, definitely put down the ingredients, pick them up, and make this for Valentine's Day, or any other day for that matter. There are just a handful of ingredients for this delicious dessert: a can of cherry pie filling, a can of crushed pineapples thoroughly drained, a can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 cup of chopped nuts. I have pecans, which I have not chopped up yet, and then you need a large tub of Cool Whip. I'm just using 2 of the smaller tubs. Now my mom is very specific about Thank You brand pie filling. She likes the Thank You brand only on the cherries, and she likes the Eagle brand for the sweetened condensed milk. I love that, but I'm just using the store brand because that's generally what I buy. The only thing that's left to do is get these ingredients folded together. I usually start with the cherries and the sweetened condensed milk, and then I finish with the Cool Whip, and you just want to lightly fold all of this together so you don't break the cherries down too much. Of course, this is kept in the refrigerator after it's done. You serve it cold. It is so refreshing. It's a great summertime dessert as well. But this one's just special and fun, and I always think of it for Valentine's and Christmas because of the color, but it's really sweet for Valentine's because it's pink and just so fun. If you haven't decided what you're doing for Valentine's Day yet, and you maybe think, oh, I'm not going to do anything, how about just choose a fun and easy dessert to make for your family, just to show them that you've thought a little extra special about them and made something sweet for you guys to all enjoy together. Either one of these recipes would be so delicious, and I think everyone would love them. Thank you, as always, you guys, for watching. I hope you have a wonderfully sweet Valentine's Day. Give this a thumbs up if you love, and I will see you guys in the next one.